Alright guys, Marcus and James here inside one of our deals.
If you do have any questions about this property, please give us a call. We'd love to show it to you.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Invest, Sell, Repeat podcast with Marcus and James. So last week I was on a ride along with you guys and we went to a property.
Ride along. That sounds like you're with the cops.
Yeah.
Ride along.
The cops of real estate. I don't know what we're doing there. But I was on a ride along with you guys to a property in Quincy and I experienced something I've obviously never been around or experienced. Actually, I don't really know if they were squatters or what the situation was, but can you guys kind of, I don't know, I don't even
Yeah, it was a scenario that I had never encountered before either.
never had
It was
that
really
either.
weird. So we can just start from the very beginning. Hello, hello. Property management. Is anybody here? Hello, hello. James and I had this property under contract, and the owner told us that it was vacant, and so we thought it was. We actually went over there to verify too. I went over to the house, had a key to it, and walked through, and there was some stuff in there, but
It didn't look like anyone was living there. Just
yeah, there was
like,
no furniture. There was just some
Yeah.
clothes items. There was a couple dishes in the
Right.
sink, and I thought, yeah, it's vacant.
nothing in the living room.
Yeah.
I just saw cockroaches and diapers. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of roaches in that one.
Yeah.
So I had my guy go change the locks on it, and I thought, okay, we changed the locks, we verified, we're good to go on this deal. So we sold it to one of our clients who actually buys a lot of our deals here. So we have a really good working relationship with him. He trusts what we say, that, hey, you know, these guys are good, they know what they're doing. And so we sold him this deal, and he calls us, was it about a month later, 3 weeks,
Yeah, it was a
4
couple-
weeks later?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks later, and he was like, hey, why is there people in the house? My guy went by, and he said that there was people living in the house, and I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, yeah, no, there's people in the house, and I was like, there's stuff in it, because there was stuff in it before. There's like physically people in the house, and he's like, there's literally people in the house. So I was like, well, yeah, they're not supposed to be there if there is. And so then that's kind of how the whole process started. So he wasn't very happy about
How
that.
did you
'cause-
find that out?
Well, he just went by
He
and
bought
got
the house from
got
us.
the key.
Yeah.
Went in the
and
house?
Went in the house, and they were going to start. It just needed a minor rehab.
Yeah.
Basically, a rent turn is what it
Yeah.
needed. It was in great
It
shape.
was a nice house.
Yeah.
So his guys were over there to evaluate it, and there was people in there. So as soon as James told me that, I was like, okay, well that's easy. Obviously, somebody broke in,
Yeah.
squatting in the house, and it's because that happens a lot here, especially if I think this house, in our mind, had been vacant for a while. So he's like, no, there's people living there. They say they have a lease, and I'm like, yeah, that's what everybody says, right? He's like, okay, so you guys really need to take care of this because I bought it from you in good faith. You guys told me it was good. It's not good. And he really just pushed the whole thing back on us. And we're like, okay, that's fine. So we went over there. And, in my mind, I was trying to troubleshoot, okay, so if somebody's squatting, how are they getting in? Who has a key? Because we had changed the locks. I had sent my guy over there to change the locks. Never had any issues like this before, so we were walking around the whole house trying to figure out how people got in. The key that was in the lockbox was screwed to the post was still the same key that worked, right? The key in my mind that we had changed the locks and put in there. And the property was secure. It had a security door on the front and the back. We went into the house, all the windows were locked, so nobody was getting in that way. And it was I just couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. Hello, is anybody here? Hello? Property management? Hello? So there's some stuff here.
Ooh, the door just fell off. That's nice. And one screw in the hinge up here. Well, it's just gonna have to hang. We'll get maintenance guys on that.
Like anybody's upstairs?
The TV was on. So I would say somebody's definitely staying here.
Well, was there like furniture and stuff up there?
It's just a bunch of clothes piled up.
No bed or nothing?
There's beds, but there's shit all over the beds. Like,
I couldn't open that. I don't know what the problem is.
is it screwed shut somewhere?
Couldn't tell. Oh, there's a deadbolt there. Well, that might work.
Wow, look at all these roaches back here. Yeah, see, so nobody's coming, dude. Nobody's coming in this way because there's cobwebs all over the door. So they're not coming in this way, and nobody has a key to the front because I changed the locks.
On both of them?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know that he changed the locks on the back. I would assume that he did. Oh, that's so gross, man.
Yeah.
Is there access from the basement?
No. I mean, there's a basement window down there.
Yeah, we can just lock that like that. I mean, what are we supposed to tell the guy? So this is the second time I've come over here, and this is the way the property has been both times.
Well, that's what I just said. Let me see something.
Do you text him or call him? Definitely needs to be treated for bugs. There's roaches everywhere.
And about that time, this lady comes pulling down the road, and she's like, "What you doing in my house?" Right? It was like, oh man. And I thought she left too.
Pregnant lady.
I know. All three of them got out of the
Yeah.
car, and they're all like 9 months pregnant. It was crazy. And they actually, I thought they drove off, but they just went back and turned around and came up. And so it turns out that yes, they were living in there, and they actually had a lease with a property management company here in town. And it was like a series of things that just happened, like out of our favor.
Did you change the front and back security door locks?
I believe so. I have to look.
I tell you what, would it have been the same key, or would it have been different keys? Because there's only one key in the box. Let me go back there and look. What I'm trying to figure out is we had sold this thing, and the guy's telling us that there's a tenant in place, or not a tenant, but a squatter or somebody living here.
So my guy did not go change the locks on that property, and now he's really good. I know what happened is he probably went and changed the locks on somebody else's house, and they came home and their key didn't work.
Make their week interesting.
Yeah, this guy, he's changed locks on hundreds of houses for me, and I've never had issues. So I'm sure it was wrong address, didn't get done. So the locks never got changed, so she still had a key to the property, and they had a lease too. So I had gone over there. There was another person in our office that had gone over there to take pictures, and and there was never anybody there when we got there, and it just appeared to us to be vacant.
Yeah, it looked vacant when we went there. This time.
Yeah.
It looked like someone just kind of left some stuff in the house, moved. There was nothing in there.
There
Really
was a
bizarre.
moment when we walked
So-
upstairs and the television was on, but I was like, maybe they just left it on and left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Weird stuff, man. So we've done hundreds of deals. At this point, thousands of deals here, and I've never been wrong about a vacant house.
I've never had that either.
So there's a first time for everything. So what we're doing is we contacted the property management company, and it turns out that they're way behind on their rent anyway, and looking for another place to live. So while we were there, we offered them cash for keys, just to help our investor out, so we can get them out. He can get the property turned, get it in tenants that are actually going to pay, which is a huge part of this business.
Right.
And really just turned it around for him. So I feel like we stepped up to the plate. We went out there, we made it happen. We actually really got lucky that the people showed up, because I was ready to wrap it up. I was ready to be like, hey, there's nobody here. This guy's crazy. What's going
Get
on?
the stuff out
It
of
was really
there,
last
haul it
minute
off.
they
Yeah.
showed up.
Yeah, we were literally getting ready to lock the door up when they pulled up. So the timing couldn't have been better. So they're going to be out this week, and we saved that relationship, we saved the deal, and it turned out to be a good learning experience. So it's so crazy. That's what I love about real estate. Just because you verify and you check, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's all the way that you think it's going to be.
Must be on
Right.
so many levels to check, you know.
Oh, I'm telling you. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of moving parts. So what we're doing is, at our cores, we buy and sell houses, right?
Right.
And that's very basic. That's easy to understand. But you start adding in all the working parts and the moving parts and the things that have to happen and the checklists that you have to go down for each individual step. It's actually very, very complicated.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to overlook something simple, even when you're trying your best to do it right. And that's why it's really important to have a good team in place. When people come and invest with us, really what they're investing in is the systems and our team members and our experience.
Right, so they have to worry about it.
Right.
Absolutely. Now, do we do everything perfect all the time? Absolutely not.
Can,
We still
you know.
make mistakes.
Like
But-
the guy who changed those locks, like he's 90% of the time, 99% of the time he hits it, but
When-
one time.
Yeah, it was like 99.9%.
Yeah, exactly.
So while we were there, I even called him up. I'm like, hey, you remember this address? Did you change the locks? And he was like looking through his tasks on his phone. He's like, yeah, I changed the locks on that. So, it was just
And you can't always assume people are going to mess, you know what I mean? Until they,
Right.
it happens. So yeah, I don't know, it was interesting though.
It was. That was a crazy experience. So, but we know that we need to verify a little bit better now, right? Maybe look a little closer.
Yeah,
And maybe that won't happen next time.
yeah.
And I don't know how that one would have been avoided necessarily, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how we could have made that any better. I mean, the owner was under the impression it was vacant. It looked vacant when we went there.
Yeah.
The couple times nobody was there. I mean, I don't know how we could have made that one.
At the
any
end of the
different.
day, we owned up to our mistake
Yeah.
and we went out there and made it right.
I feel like the conversation you have with those ladies too, being able to make that deal with them so it doesn't have to drag out. I mean, it was patched quite easily. It seems.
I
like
think
at
they
least.
need, and they're behind on rent, which we didn't.
Mhm.
We weren't quite sure if they were telling the truth or not. We had to verify that, but then just the cash for keys is always a good way to
Right.
try to speed the process up and make sure it's not dragging out any farther. So we're either going to give the money to the tenant, or we're going to give it to a attorney who's going to file the eviction. It just speeds the process up. So
Yeah, at the end of the day, we would get them out.
Yeah.
That's for sure. They would have to go. We could file eviction. The thing is, if they are a professional tenant and they know what they're doing, they can drag it out to 60, 90 days, that's a painful process, waiting there, having a property that you can't get somebody out that's not cash flowing. So what we did is buy time. We just bought time with that cash for keys.
right.
Right.
So they'll be out this week. That relationship will be good to go, and he'll still buy a bunch of deals from us, and everybody's happy at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
they seemed happy about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. When I
Yeah.
said that $500,
I got to
she's
hurt
like
that.
that. She's like the look on her face changed a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like,
Let me
Okay.
talk to my
Okay.
sister. You know what? No, forget my sister. Yep. Deal.
Yeah. It went from I can't believe this, to okay, all right, I can find a spot.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yep.
So,
All right, well, Quincy.
Yeah.
yep. That should be done this Wednesday.